I want to talk about, because we're staying from 20 to 30.
Yeah.
And of course, so answer this question for me, because this is where I want to get to. I want to talk about what was going on, in your personal life from those years. But I also know, like, as a young guy, kind of your work is your life, right? Especially when you enjoy it. So it makes sense that, like, for Gary, 21 to 27, everything's about me getting started in natural gas. But what are some of the other things that happened maybe outside of work during those years that was like, that was important? Whether it was socially, with your family, with some friends.
Yeah, well, this is a story that most people do not know. In fact, I don't know that anybody knows this story, including my brother. But when I was 25, I met a woman named Gloria. She'll love this story, I'm sure. A lawyer introduced me to her. I met her in Houston. Fell absolutely head over heels, dude. Like,
just the first time you met her.
Oh, first time I met her, I was like, I'm gonna marry this chick. Anyway, so we start dating. I'm at the old energy company that I would get fired from. This all happened all at the same age, 25, right? The treatment center, the firing, and Gloria. Gloria was in California, and then Gloria was in Houston, Texas. Convinced her to move in with me. She moves in with me. 3 days later, I come home. Closets are empty. I've taken this woman to my mom's house now. My mom loves her. I'm going to marry this woman. Don't know this, but I've impregnated her. Have no clue. Show up on a Thursday afternoon or a Friday to my house at 5 o'clock, and all the gone out of the closets.
How long had she been living with you?
A week. She's gone. Nothing. No letter. Nothing.
Wow.
I would then live 12 months having no clue where this woman's gone. No clue, dude. In total.
How long did you know her?
I knew her for probably 7 months.
So you meet her, head over heels, start dating. She moves in.
Both of us too. Like we're like, I mean,
a week within moving.
I bring her to my mom's house in Lake Charles. I don't do that very easily. We sleep in my mom's house.
Did your mom like her?
My mom loved her. I didn't get a phone call, maybe a year and a half later from Gloria. Hey, Gary. I'm like, huh? Seriously, dude? And we hook up. I fly to Oklahoma to meet her. It's not the same. There's clearly a lot of stuff that's going on. I don't quite understand it.
Well, yeah, it's been a year and a half.
But check this out, okay? Now, this is 25. At 60, 2020, January of 2021, I get a phone call. No, I get an email from Gloria. I don't even know. I don't have her email. Okay.
You hadn't talked to her since you saw her in Oklahoma?
I haven't talked to her since, totally. Since I'm 26, 27 years old. Okay. So here we are. We fast forward 2020. I get hit with a divorce filing in the back of my head. Have no clue. Whole takeover of my company. Okay. Like, I am in a storm. The likes could make 3 books. My brother's been pulled into this whole shenanigan. 2 children, 2 kids are somebody's trying to take the 2 kids away from me. I get an email from Gloria out of the freaking blue. Hey, I have been dreaming about you nonstop. Are you okay? I think you're in trouble. I'm like, whoa, dude. Nobody knows I'm in trouble. This hit me in the back of the head. I had no clue this was happening. And I'm looking at this letter going, what the is this, dude? Like, this is bizarre. I call her up and go, hey, what's happening? She's like, dude, I've been dreaming about you. Like, you're in trouble, aren't you? And I was like, whoa, this is weird. So anyway, that for me would be the Gloria thing was really, really painful, man. I just buried it and went to work, but probably messed me up pretty bad. It's probably why I've had 3 failed marriages, because I was just trying to fix something. I was trying to solve something, be with somebody. Just never understood it. But it was very, very...
Well, that's a weird thing, too, because there's no closure. There's no argument. There's no, I hate you, you hate me.
Yeah.
It's just gone and then weird.
Yeah, well, what I found out, in 2020 was that she got pregnant by me, and she didn't know what to do, and she aborted it without telling me, and that would create this massive, withhold from her. She was probably like, oh, look, I mean, that's not cool for me. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what our lives would have been. I look at it and go, ooh, I'm not sure I was ready for a kid, but I would never have done that. I would have been like, hey, let's roll, man. I was totally in love, dude. I was,
yeah.
Whether it would have worked or not, I don't know. I was very immature, but it took me a long time to realize what 40 plus years, dude, to realize what had happened. And I think for her, she probably, been a lot of weight for her to carry for a long time. It was cool for her to tell me. I really appreciated the transparency. At some level, I think I knew something weird went on. I didn't really take it that personal, but it was when people think it's easy, things are easy. You're like that's a fairly large. Now you look at it, I'm sure psychologists could have that lady that, you met. I'm sure she would have a field day.
Nothing, though. She probably, I don't know.
She could have field day with me, mom.
Could try.
Dad dead. Lady leaves at 25. Rejection, insecurity. So, whatever.
But it's interesting, the dynamic of you're crushing it, though, at work. I mean, you got fired, but then you're crushing it. You're in the building that you always dreamed of. It's funny how it all comes at once, I guess. So did Gloria leave around when you got fired, and you got fired just a month after you did the rehab's not the right word because you checked yourself.
Yeah, but it's fine.
But it wasn't like a problem. So I
think it was a problem, dude. I'm an extreme character, dude. I am an extreme character. So no, I think I had
I guess in my mind, I'm like, you're still functioning fine.
Oh, no, I was a high-functioning player for sure. I've always functioned, but it wasn't optimal.
Got it.
It's just today, up until I've had 13 or 14 surgeries. It's not like I've been Mr. I've done a lot of bad things to my body. Just I've had shit happen. And I haven't been very careful. I'm one of those guys, I'm like, I'll pay for it later.
Yeah.
And I kind of am paying for it later. The cool thing is medicine today, the medicine today we have is so much better.
Helping you not pay for it later.
Well, it's helping me be proactive, and I'm not just throwing shit. In the old days, it was just, hey, respond to the symptom. I think people were doing... And look, the pharmaceutical companies have lied to us, dude. I mean, Valium's not addictive. Well, really? Try doing that for a couple of years, see how it works. Opiates aren't addictive. Really? Try doing those after a surgery for a year or two. We have been, my hope is that this whole DNA sequencing is going to allow medicine to be used much more effectively for the particular vehicle. I'm the vehicle.
Yeah.
Dose it appropriately, or like my response to some drugs are completely different than what they're
someone
supposed
else's.
to be.
Yeah.
So it was a problem. I think a lot of people have challenges, whether it's divorce, girlfriends, drugs, life, pornography. People we're human beings, dude. We're human beings, and I'm not any different than anybody else. I have desires and wants and insecurities just like everybody else, and that shows up in spades when you're a kid, And then it shows up in spades. If you don't fix it when you're a kid, it really shows up when you start making money. So
Did Gloria set a bar for you when you were dating other women?
clearly not. Did she set a bar?
Like if she was that influential and you were like head over heels, you know how some people are like, you compare whatever relationship you're in now to how you felt at a specific moment? Or was Gloria just another relationship? Like how impactful was that for you when you were talking to women thereafter?
I don't know the answer to that question. I know this is that I've never approached having a relationship the same way I approach business. And that would explain to me why I've had so many failed relationships, because I've never had a failed business.
But your business is, where you operate in your business is, you like to be where the market is trying to find the price because you're helping the market find the price. So it's very in flux, almost chaotic, because you're the one bringing it together and saying, I'm setting the price, right? You're kind of the market maker. How do you do that with a relationship? Because and I guess in a relationship, you are the oil producer, right? Like you're just the buyer and the seller. There's no in between, right? Which is where you thrive. So does that make sense? Or am I just totally out there? Because I'm trying to think, if you're trying to treat a relationship like a business, I don't know, given how you treat business, you can treat a relationship that way.
Well, by that, I mean, when I go into just the business we're doing right now, I haven't really gotten an idea, hey, where do I want this to end, right? What is the mission? At least with the other businesses, I took the time to write down, hey, this is what I'm doing. With the relationships, I never took the time to say, hey, this is the mission of this relationship. If I had, I would never gotten married. Any of the times I wouldn't have got married.
Because you didn't know the mission, or the mission was bad?
I didn't have a mission. I was responding to being lonely. I was responding to other people had relationships and I didn't. I looked funny when I went to parties. I was responding to society, you should be married. Okay? I literally got married because I thought other people wanted me to. And I should probably never been married. After Gloria, I probably should have just been, hey, I haven't met the woman, dude. I just never met that person. And I made decisions to get involved with people that I settled. Every time I settled. And maybe that was out of like Gloria just ripped my face off. Maybe I just created this dysfunctional response. But if I would, if I ever have another relationship, I'm going to approach it differently than I think, than how I did it. Because I think that it's very difficult for me to say, hey, I haven't had any failed businesses and I always use the same tools, but I wasn't able to do that in a relationship. Why wouldn't you just apply the same principle of mission? What do you want? What do I want? How do we build this together? I'm not sure I should. Maybe I'm not one of those guys that needed to be married. I'm glad I had children, but I wish I would have been more comfortable being alone. I am very comfortable now being alone. Sometimes I can't wait for you guys to all leave my house so I can just think and be and then I go, okay, it's 6:00 at night. Hey, let me go hang out at a bar. And then I never go, dude. I don't want to. I'm okay now hanging out with myself, not doing anything. Maybe painting, maybe not painting, watching TV, reading a book. I am getting more and more comfortable in my skin. I wouldn't say that should have been my goal when I was 25 or 30 or 40. I don't think if you ask really successful people, are you always comfortable in your own skin? The answer does not have to be yes for me to be productive. It doesn't have to. I don't have to be comfortable about anything, right? In fact, I'm probably more dangerous when I'm uncomfortable. No, I'm probably more dangerous to myself when I'm comfortable. I like being a little. I'm not in my normal oxygen, normal atmosphere. It's a little. I have to be more alert when I'm outside my frame. So, yeah, I would. If I'm going to give anybody any advice, there's a reason that 46% of the people get divorced. Okay, there must be. That's a monsterly bad stat. Monsterly. Like the odds are stacked against you, and they're massively stacked against a man, due to the way the divorce rules work today. That if I'm a guy, I'm going to consider very, very long and hard, hey, do I really want to do this? Because I think it's just worth looking at why are so many people around the world getting divorced? Okay, like maybe it's a construct that doesn't even work anymore. I personally love the idea of having one person to hang out with. Question is it really achievable in a world that's going so fast? And can it happen for long periods of time? Because, you and I to come together and do a business for 5 years, we can keep our trajectory very similar. But let's say that you and I are married and we make $500 million here. And I might look at this and go, wow, $500 million. Look, Sam, I can go fishing in Montana for the rest of my life. I'm kind of done here. And you're like, no, dude. Remember we were on this journey, but I've moved just 1 degree, dude. Okay, well, you go 365 days, 1 degree, all of a sudden this tiny little change between these two married people starts deviating. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. All of a sudden, you're 62 years old, dude, and you're going to Saturn, and I'm going to the moon. We're going such different places. So maybe in the caveman eras, when we were going to live to be 35 and we needed to make some babies, cool. Maybe we needed to be married for 35, right? For 10 years. Today, it's like, is this working? It doesn't look like it's working to me. I'm not sure what the answer is. I think it should work, right? You can't expand the human population if we're only having 1 or 2 babies. That's a problem. And I don't think you expand the population by having, a bunch of sexual people are just doing whatever they want to do, right? Just complete ethics. Well, for me, I was immature, man. I was immature at 25. I was immature at 30. I was immature at 32, 40. And the relationship stuff just didn't work well for me. So I'm not crying over spilt milk, but I wasted a lot of time. I mean, I was probably with 4 women for 30 years of my life, and none of them worked. Kind of a waste, dude. 5 years here, 7 years here, 6 years there, 12 years there. I mean, with this last one, 15 years, dude. 15 years of my life, and you realize, oh, wow, she was only interested in business the whole time. It'd been cool just say that. It's cool. So look, I think the message here is that just because you mess up on relationships don't mean that you can't be successful. And just because you're successful in business doesn't mean you know anything else about life.